I met James on a random Tuesday. It wasn't romantic. We bumped into each other at a bookstore, literally. I dropped my coffee, he apologized twice. I didn't expect anything to come from it, but later that night, he found me on Instagram. I remember thinking how bold it was, and maybe a little creepy, but he was charming, funny, and seemed so different from the usual guys I met. Our conversations turned into late-night calls. He was easy to talk to, like an old friend I forgot I had. By week 3, I was already imagining our future together. 3 months in, I noticed something. James became distant when I brought up meeting his friends. He always had a reason. They're traveling, or it's not a good time. At first, I brushed it off. Maybe he was just private. But one night, I saw a message on his phone from a woman named Alyssa. It wasn't flirty, not exactly, but it was familiar. Too familiar. When I asked, he laughed and said she was his cousin. I wanted to believe him. I think I did. But something about the way he avoided my eyes haunted me. I told myself I was overthinking. I'd been hurt before, maybe I was just projecting. That's what I kept repeating, like a prayer. I even told my best friend, Rachel, and she gave me a look, that knowing, worried look, but didn't push. James made it so easy to doubt my own instincts. He was sweet again. He brought flowers. He kissed my forehead the way he used to. And just like that, I convinced myself it was just my fear talking. That's the funny thing about trust, once it cracks, you either fix it fast, or it falls apart slowly. 6 months into our relationship, I met Alyssa. Completely by accident. I was grabbing lunch downtown and saw them, James and her, sitting close, laughing. Too close. I didn't approach. I watched from across the street, heart pounding, palms sweating. I took a picture. I don't know why. Maybe I needed proof for myself. That night, I showed him. His face froze. He didn't deny it. He said, "It's complicated." I remember thinking, no, it's not. You're either loyal or you're not. But instead of walking away, I listened. That was the night I realized I wasn't just in love, I was trapped. James cried. I'd never seen him cry before. He told me she was his ex, that they had unfinished business, but it was over now, really over. He said seeing her made him realize how much he wanted me. He begged for another chance. And I gave it to him. I know how that sounds. Weak. Desperate. But when someone you love looks at you like you're their whole world, it's easy to believe them. We started fresh. New boundaries, new promises. I deleted that photo. I wanted to believe in us again. For a while, it worked. Or so I thought. We were good for a few weeks. Then little things started happening. Late replies. Cancelled plans. One night, I noticed he turned his phone over every time I was near. That subtle move, it screamed I'm hiding something. I told myself I was being paranoid. But I couldn't ignore it. I started checking his social media. He had posts from places he never mentioned. Tags he untagged himself from. One with a girl I didn't recognize. When I asked about it, he said it was old stuff. But it was posted 2 days ago. I didn't sleep that night, not because I was angry, but because I was scared of the truth. Rachel convinced me to go out, said I needed a break, a night to feel normal. We went to this rooftop bar downtown. That's where I saw her. The girl from the photo. The one James untagged himself from. She was laughing with friends, and I don't know what came over me, but I walked right up to her. I introduced myself. I didn't even plan it. I just said, "Do you know James?" Her face changed instantly. She didn't look shocked. She looked sorry. "You're his girlfriend?" she asked. "One of them, I guess." That sentence broke something inside me. I waited outside James's apartment. I didn't call, didn't text. Just sat there in my car until he got home. When he saw me, he froze, again. Like he always did when he knew he was caught. I told him everything. About the girl. About what she said. He didn't deny it. He didn't fight. He just looked tired. "I never wanted to hurt you," he said. That line, so rehearsed, so pathetic. I asked him one question, "Why me?" He said, "Because you believed in me. No one else ever did." That answer made me feel worse, not better. I packed a bag that night. Not for me, for him. I put his things in a box, left them by the door. I told him I needed space, that I couldn't do this anymore. But I didn't cry. I thought I would. I thought I'd fall apart. Instead, I felt nothing. Just this strange, hollow calm. He left without arguing. That was the worst part. He didn't fight for me. Didn't beg this time. Maybe he knew it was too late. I sat on the floor for hours afterward, staring at the wall. And in that silence, I realized the worst heartbreaks aren't loud, they're quiet. A week passed. Then 2. I didn't hear from James, until I did. It was a short message, just one sentence, "Can we talk?" I stared at it for an hour before replying. I didn't know why I agreed to meet. Maybe I needed closure. Maybe I wanted answers. Maybe, and this was the part one hated most, maybe I still loved him, just a little. We met at the same place we first saw each other. He brought coffee. I didn't touch it. He looked different, older somehow. And what he told me next was something I never expected. James sat across from me, looking nervous, more than I'd ever seen him. I expected an apology, maybe another excuse. But what he said next stunned me. I was engaged. "Before you." I blinked. "To Alyssa?" He nodded. "We were planning a life. But she cheated. It broke me. And when I met you, I wasn't over her. I used you to forget." My chest tightened. "But then I fell for you," he added. "For real." I didn't know what hurt more, that I was a distraction, or that he thought saying that made it better. Love doesn't work that way. I couldn't sleep after that conversation. My mind wouldn't stop spinning. Every moment we had together now felt like a lie, even if it wasn't. The night he held my hand during my dad's surgery, the way he kissed my forehead when I cried about work, did any of it mean anything to him? I told Rachel everything. She was quiet for a moment and then said, "Sometimes closure isn't a conversation. Sometimes it's accepting you won't get all the answers." But I wasn't ready to let go. Not yet. I needed one more truth. Even if it destroyed me. Something kept nagging at me. James's social media never matched his real life. He was always careful. Too careful. That's when I created a fake profile. I felt ridiculous, like a high school girl stalking a crush. But within days, I found it. A second Instagram. Private. Different username. And full of photos, not just of him, but of Alyssa. Recent ones. Captions like "still trying," and maybe love can survive anything. My hand shook. He'd lied again. It wasn't just the past, he was still clinging to her. And here I was, picking up the pieces he left behind. I called him. No more texting, no more waiting. He answered on the third ring. It's not what it looks like, he said immediately. Classic. I didn't even ask a question. I stayed quiet. Let the silence do the talking. Finally, he cracked. I saw her again. Once. I was confused. But it made me realize I don't want her. I laughed, cold, sharp. You don't want her, but you keep her like a backup file. He didn't respond. You don't get to confuse me anymore, I said. You lost me the moment you thought I'd forgive everything just because you're broken. I turned my phone off after that call. For the first time in months, I chose peace over answers. I spent the weekend alone, no James, no Rachel, no distractions. I cleaned my apartment, took long walks, even read a book I'd abandoned months ago. The silence felt strange at first. Then, comforting. I didn't cry. Not once. I think I'd run out of tears. I wasn't healed, not yet, but I was clear. I couldn't fix James. I couldn't change the past. But I could decide my future. And for the first time, I felt like I was ready to.